Nico's out tonight with the ankle sprain, I believe. Is that more of a precautionary thing for him?
He's out.
I know, but did he re-sprain it? Was it aggravation or?
It hurts.
Okay. And then how do you?
Yes.
How do you? I mean, is it tougher to prepare for a team when? I mean, so many guys are in and out. They have so many G League guys in, and guys that haven't played as many minutes and have to get elevated roles.
I wouldn't say that. I think more so just having our defensive foundation and what our principles are going to be. Not, more so who we're playing. We know with Harden, he's the head of the snake, and the way Patty Mills is playing, those two guys, we got to do a good job, with them. And I know James is going to get his. We understand that, but we got to do a good job on Patty. We can't lose him. We can't relax. We can't let him get threes in transition. So we got to really pay attention to him because, when he's that second scorer with James, they are a tough team to beat.
Having watched yesterday's game, what did you like most about the game despite the loss?
Defensively, I thought just being able to change coverages, change different schemes, and our guys were able to pick up and catch onto it. Even with our young guys, they was able to do it pretty well. So that was a good thing to see. Excited just to see we can adjust and do different things throughout the course of the game. And holding a team to 39 points in the second half was really good for us.
Hey, Ty. First, do you know who's starting for tonight?
Yeah, I know.
I know you know what you want to share.
Oh, Bledsoe, Luke, Terrence, Marcus, and Zoot.
And then you brought up defensive foundation. Dan Craig hasn't been here for a couple weeks at least. Just want to know how he's doing and how the team is really just preparing for these games and in game, who you're leaning on, defensively to make these adjustments with you.
I talk to him every day, to check on him. He's itching to get back, but he has to take his time and make sure he's doing his rehab. And when the doctor clears him, he'll be back. But, Brendan O'Connor has stepped in and, done a tremendous job. And so Brendan was here with me when I came over with Doc the first time when I led the defense. So he kind of came up under me defensively and just learning my defensive mindset and my defensive foundation. So he stepped right in and, he's done a great job as well. So, we got to do it by committee like we are on the court. The coaches are hurt. The players are hurt. So we all just got to do it by committee, man. And like I said, BOC knows what I want. He understands what defensively because he learned under me. So he stepped in and has done a great job as well.
You talked about when there's so much uncertainty, you have to lean on your foundation, the principles you guys lean on the most. Defensively, where do you feel like you guys are at with your defensive principles, like the bedrock stuff that you want to do the best, the most consistent? Are you happy with where you guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think we got to get better with our communication. Our guys don't talk a lot. We're quiet on the court. So we just got to be better with our communication, and then be with our switches because, it's crazy because the great defenders like, Bledsoe, and then you got Keon and got Avery Bradley, guys like that, they never really switch because they never switch under because they're so locked into their guy and they can keep their guy in front of them. But when you switch it 1 through 4, a lot of times they get over the screen and now that guy gets behind them because we're switching. It's kind of tough. So we just got to do a good job of communicating. And usually the better defenders are the ones that, have a tough time with switching. So just getting better with that.
Eric's had a really good last 2 games as a starter. I'm kind of curious, do you feel that he's gotten more comfortable as the season's gone along? And do you feel that the guys are kind of catching up to his pace of play mostly?
For sure. You come into a new situation, a new system. He's definitely getting more comfortable. And like I said, having the ball in his hands and be able to orchestrate, be able to push the pace and get other guys involved. He's doing a great job. So he's definitely getting more and more comfortable.
Despite guys being out, seeing Eric kind of take a bigger role, is that something that when guys do come back can kind of help the team or because he's had that role and he's able to kind of do it if you need it?
He's been a starter for a long time in the league. So we just, happened to, need him to come off the bench for us and he was okay with that, but he's been a starter for us, more in his career than he has been off the bench. So I just think as a point guard, having the basketball in your hands, knowing you're going to be able to control the pace of the game, the tempo, when you're going to get shots, when other guys are going to get shots. And even when he came off the bench when Reggie was starting, he say he felt more comfortable just having the ball in his hands and having his own unit.
Hey, Ty, with Marcus back tonight, I know he had reconditioning for a night yesterday, but Was he able to do anything basketball wise in the past week? And is there limitations on him tonight?
Just the last couple of days. And yeah, I mean, he has a minute restriction, but it's pretty decent. So I'm happy about that.
How's he feeling? Like, is he?
He feels good.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cool.
Soon after Kawhi was traded, Pop talked about how the vocal leadership was the next step in his, kind of development. Not specific to him though. Is vocal leadership and stuff like that something you develop over time? Have you found that to be the case?
I mean, you got to get more and more comfortable with it. A lot of, the great leaders lead by example, the way they work, the way they prepare, the way they do things. And, a lot of guys are not big talkers, so I've been on a few teams where the best player, they weren't big talkers, but when they stepped on the floor or when they prepared or when they try to get things done, just the way they carried themselves and how they did it, that was leadership alone. So, we all know Kawhi's not a big talker, but he has opened up a lot more. I thought he really got good the second half of our season last year. Unfortunately he had the ACL tear, but he's gotten better at it. So, him and PG as well.
With guys like you have right now, without PG and Kawhi, without Reggie, can that kind of leadership, be developed with the guys who you have right now?
Well, Marcus, he's vocal. He speaks a lot, and guys listen to him. So, being in the league 11 years and with the credentials he have, guys listen to him. So it's good to have him back. Like I say, he's one of our.
So I feel like last year you mentioned that when you've had questions throughout your career playing and coaching wise, you can always go to people like Jerry who've seen it all, right? Mm-hmm. You can kind of ask their advice. I'm just curious in this scenario where the league is so, the rosters are so ravaged to a point. It's never really been like this before. Like, what's it like for you to be sort of the leader of this team and navigating on the fly in scenarios that no one's really seen before? Like, how do you approach that from a leadership perspective of how to navigate that?
I think just make sure we get our work in. I think make sure we're building good habits. And the most important thing, I think, with our young guys, just building confidence with those guys. Like I said, it's the game has changed. The game is different. But like I said, our young guys get an opportunity to play. I think it's going to be good. And we just got to be patient with them. And they're going to make some mistakes. But the biggest thing I can say as a young player, if you're playing hard and competing every single night, everything else is going to take care of itself. And you've seen how young guys have done the last couple of games.
All right, yesterday, Michael Malone was talking a little bit about how adaptability, like you talked about, is sort of the key the last couple of seasons. On some level, is it sort of like the most adaptable teams are going to
still not win? So I wouldn't say that'd be the best, but I mean, you got to adapt. Like I said, it's crazy times right now. We understand that. So we got to adapt the best we can. And like I said, we got to just, put together, the best guys we can get on the floor at the same time that mesh well together, and then till guys get back and get healthy. But like I said, I'm still confident. Like I said, yesterday was a good game. It showed you that, we play hard, we compete, have a chance to win. We just couldn't close the game like we wanted to. And they had a better closer than us yesterday. So hats off to them. But they played and competed, and we just got to keep building.
So like coaching isn't an easy gig as it is, but with all that's going on and, your team, every team trying to prepare, like how much harder is doing it right now in this setting than it already is?
It's tougher, but you got to be able to adapt and adjust. And like I said, I think the biggest thing that helped us out is our G League system. I think, having Paul Hewitt, who's done a great job of just incorporating a lot of things that we've done up here. So when they do come up, they just fit right in. So that's been a positive. And so now these guys are not trying to think as much on the floor because the sets that we have in, they pretty much know they can just kind of play free.